Welcome into another edition of Sports Junkies here at RacineSportsZone.com. I am Steve Sparky, Fifer, 105.7 FM The Fan. He's Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times, and we're here to talk some exciting Bucks basketball. Now,
should we take this call? Or
no. Not only are we going to talk Bucks basketball. No.
Okay.
Not only are we going to talk Bucks basketball, but we're going to talk about the crowd and the atmosphere of Game 3 for this thing. And this is where I lean on Gery. You were on, not literally, but you were on the Pick and Save Basketball postgame show last night, and you made a pretty powerful statement as far as of all the games you've covered in Milwaukee, and you've been here your whole life, where that atmosphere for that game ranks. Where does it rank on your scale of the games you've been to?
Yeah, it's like I said last night, it's second to none. I saw the great Don Nelson teams. I saw the great George Karl teams. And the Bradley Center was really rocking, when George Karl got his team to the Eastern Conference Finals. But last night was incredible. From the opening tip until the buzzer, that place was electrifying. I mean, Bucks fans came to play, no question.
Again, part of that was, in my opinion, was you had two pretty big sections of Bulls fans, one of which was in the upper deck, the other in the lower bowl. They came with like 2 or 3 buses full of Bulls fans from down in Chicago. I don't know who put that together, but they all came up. Now, having said that, I don't know if the Bulls fans aren't there, Gery, and it's Bucks Raptors. I don't know.
Totally different set of
I don't think it's that. But because the Bulls fans were there and because they were so loud at times, the Bucks fans felt like we got to be up the whole game. We can't let them take over. And that's what, in my opinion, made it totally electric.
Well, it was interesting. About the first quarter, I was sitting by 2 NBA scouts right down in the baseline. And I said to the one next to me from the Boston Celtics, I said, what would be your figures for tonight's crowd? What percent would be Bucks fans? What percent would be Bulls fans? And I said it was 70-30 Bucks Bulls, okay? He goes, I think it's about 75-25. And the other guy said, yeah, I agree. And I don't think anybody, including the Bucks players, expected the Bucks to have close to 70% of the fans there.
I think the hope was if we got 50-50, we'd be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
But we didn't think that, and that's an A+ to Bucks fans. I'll do the same thing on Saturday. Don't sell your tickets, please. Now, having said that, let's go back to that Don Nelson era. Playing at the Mecca, the old stadium, smaller, didn't have as big a seating capacity. Talk about that atmosphere that they played in there and how it's different from what it is at the Bradley Center.
Well, it's a more intimate setting. Obviously, the arena was like around 10,000, 11,000, okay? Yep. The Bradley Center is twice that amount, okay? Now you compare the Bradley Center to the United Center in Chicago. The United Center is 22,000, 23,000 people. But the thing about the United Center is it's so spread out. It's spacious, okay? So, yeah, there's a lot of noise there. But when you compress it like into the BC, I'm telling you, there was a charge last night that I haven't ever, like I said before, ever seen for a Bucks home game.
Now, I think, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think as the years go on here, next year, the year after, you're going to start to see that Bradley Center become more and more filled on more of a regular basis.
I agree.
It's not just going to be playoff games. It's going to kind of become like a Brewer thing where you're going to have more and more people going. Now, having said that.
Well, it became a happening last night. When we were riding down to the office here, you were talking about all the other pro athletes that showed up for them.
Right.
I mean, you had like a litany of guys.
Yeah, you had Aaron Rodgers was there, Randall Cobb, Micah Hyde, Matt Garza, Ramos Ramirez. I mean, you had all kinds of different athletes that were in the house. Scottie Pippen was in the house as well. He was sitting courtside for that game, the former Bull. But this is the thing. This new arena that's coming, right? Mm-hmm. You take that into account when you're building this new arena, if you're the Bucks, as far as how do I make this as physically as loud as possible? I mean, is that part of the draw? Because I don't think necessarily when you build a basketball arena, you think about sound. You just think about other things. But how you contain the sound to make it as loud and give you that home court advantage, I don't think it ever really comes up. If you could become like that Seahawks fan base, where you are the loudest stadium in the NBA, that's a huge benefactor to your team.
Well, I think the gold standards for fans right now is Golden State.
No question.
If you go to a Golden State game, it's a happening. The other night I was watching the game, everybody had on a gold T-shirt. Right. I mean, it was just a sea of gold, and you knew you were playing at home against Golden State.
That's what they wear to worship Steph Curry.
Absolutely.
That shot at the end of regulation was stupid. I mean, absolutely stupid. But anyways, so A+ Bucks fans, nicely done, and the atmosphere is just going to get better and better and better as we go. And I can't wait to see it. how it turns out. All right, thanks for tuning in to another edition of Sports Junkies, talking about the Bucks crowd here at RacineSportsZone.com.